2020, the year that came with its own ups and downs, but more downs than ups. We decided to bring you a few of the hot topics that spread over our nation. Let's join our interviewer, Anne Wangare, as she takes 4 men through the year that baffled all.
My bad. I was just having a small meeting with my friend. He even left me this. I'm pretty sure you're comfortable though. Would you like some?
We don't drink on the job.
That's a bad policy to live by. I'm always tipsy around here. I even met the president once while tipsy. He was also tipsy. It was an interesting conversation. So you're here to hear my wise thoughts on what happened this year.
We are just covering a few topics.
Continuing to rise through social media, Flacco was able to entertain a wider and growing audience by becoming one with his entire family through interacting with himself. Each other.
Ama wacha tuongoje babako karibu kukuja.
Mom, dadi anakuja.
Hata ndio huyo amefika.
What did you think about Flacco's rise on social media?
The Luo guy. A friend of mine who's a major shareholder in Davies told me they recently hired him to promote them over Christmas, so I guess he's good. But we only deal with established influencers, so once we think he's off standards, we might consider him.
As some people were interacting with themselves, another human from overseas was allegedly interacting with a bat, then proceeding to interact with other humans with plane tickets overseas. And from that, the coronavirus emerged, engulfing the entire world in fear and panic.
I said that as far as coronavirus is concerned, it is not a question of whether. It is not a question of if we are going to get a case in due course. It was a question of when. And members of the press and fellow Kenyans, I want to inform you that the Ministry of Health has confirmed the first coronavirus case in Kenya.
What did you do when corona was first announced in Kenya?
Well, on that day, I remember I was praying, I was fasting, I was talking to God. All right, I wanted to know what this was all about, and wanting to know the kind of sign God is trying to send us, right? And as we all know that God has a plan, and I wanted and I needed to know what that plan was, so we came together, we prayed together, and we waited for the Holy Spirit to show us the way forward.
Sorry I'm late. A doctor had an emergency and I had to finish his rounds.
What was your reaction when corona first arrived in Kenya?
At first, I thought it was a white man problem because these are the people basically being affected by it. And I remember we were talking with my fellow doctors on how HIV mostly affected Africans. And now this was nature balancing the odds. I thought Africa would come out triumphant, but little did we know more was to come.
And boy was he right. The cases in Kenya and Africa continued to grow, and even if we weren't as hard hit as other places, it was bad enough that it came down to this.
Effective Friday, 27th March 2020, there will be a daily curfew from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning.
With the virus meandering through the streets, people got ready to hold themselves up, giving supermarkets the profits of a lifetime. I bet Nakumat on this day wished it was still operational.
Did you stock your house out of panic?
Psalms chapter 9, verse 9. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in the times of trouble.
But did you stock your house out of panic?
No. The Lord has never and will never forsake me.
Oh yes, I remember when that happened. I talked to my friends who own supermarkets and they told me they're not going out of stock. I even talked to the CS of Trade, the Honorable Miss Maina, and she told me goods will still be coming in. That's why I was wondering why people were panicking so much. I mean, can they just ask the ones in charge? I just kept on with my normal shopping, which is just me sending my maid.
So, what are you doing?
Interviews of various people concerning 2020.
So when will it come out? December 30th or January?
We expect it to come out in March.
Wouldn't we have forgotten it by then? Or?
I highly doubt that.
Okay. At least you chose the right person for this. I'm really good at observing people and having new perspective on things.
People were buying lots of goods like soaps and tissues to have in their houses. Did you do so?
That's just something made by companies to make money, you know. Do you know what the rich do? The rich actually have this thing. It looks like a toilet seat, but it's not. You just sit there and it washes you. I know, it sounds crazy, but I tried it once and it actually cleaned me up. It's sparkling clean. I just sit on my sink and open the tap, but it works wonders, you know. Here, wanna see?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good.
Okay, you should try it. You should try at least once. It makes your butt shine.
With Corona being the major issue in Kenya, CS Mutahi Kagwe now had a spotlight on him, and living up to an unreal expectation was bound to be a heavy burden on him. He had to maintain a level of professionalism at all times.
What did you think of the new CS, Mutahi Kagwe?
I would say he was like a rock in times of trouble. He was the only voice of sense when the other leaders would try to mix this corona business with politics, Mara Sijui, BBI. You know, he was the only one we could count on to just stick to corona, you know, telling us how many deaths there are, how many people are infected, and how many people could be walking around with it, you know, a true sign of hope.
Would you say he's a good CS?
I mean, he's a good journalist, announcing deaths, recoveries, new illnesses, and how to wear a mask on a daily basis. Really hard work.
But would you say he's a good CS?
I don't want to get fired.
I've met him at some parties. He did business in university, so I wondered what he was doing as the health CS. I mean, what is he going to do? Buy PPEs at a discount? We all know where the rest of the money would go.
People may have been stuck at home, but since time stops for no one, policies could not wait, and thus reggae and its opposition had to be preached far and wide.
Na mimi nasema nobody can stop reggae.
Nobody can stop reggae.
Hii reggae na bangi na waganga tutawakomesha Kenya hii.
What are your thoughts on BBI?
I'm just waiting for it to pass.
You think it will pass?
Of course, we already decided that.
We, as in?
You know, us guys, not you common people, of course. I'm just waiting for it to pass so that I can be able to get more money from the government. It will be a true blessing.
But do you think it will benefit the Wanjikos?
I mean, you're serious? I mean, since when do we care about the Wanjikos?
With people stuck at home, an international rapper, Tory Lanez, devised a way to fulfill the lusts of men and women through quarantine radio. And a Kenyan, just had to steal the idea and make money from it. Obviously a Kikuyu. Enter Extendela's Club COVID, fulfilling the lusts of thousands in exchange for cash.
Tunataka kuona dhambi ya 30,000 Kenyan shillings.
What were your thoughts on extended?
That was one of the worst things in Kenya. You know, years ago, it used to be the men that would mislead our women. Our mantra was to protect our women, protect our daughters, protect our sisters. And now, it's them misleading our sons and our brothers. And this demon has provided them with a platform to do so. You tell me, what is a boy doing watching 17 ladies shake their bums left and right with their underwear, mind you?
17?
Oh yes, yeah. There's a day he put 17. Now, I watched it, but, you know, just to know what he was poisoning our for research, all right? It was just for research, nothing else. Nothing else, research, okay? So my point is, the next day, all right, after that, the next day, when this boy sees a regular, normal lady like you perhaps, just passing by, what do you think they're going to see? You tell me that.
Oh, that. That was... I mean...
What club is that?
A guy was bringing in ladies on his Instagram page and people would send in money.
Ah, online sex trafficking. I'm pretty sure he made some good money off of that.
Well, no. They would only talk and people would send in money.
So like an online strip club?
Yes, something like that.
I'm still sure he made some good money. That business has insane profits. Don't ask me how I know.
He actually sent the money to the ladies.
Well, what's the point of displaying ladies sexually if you don't make money off of it?
With people sick and dying in the hospital, urgent measures had to be taken to help combat the situation. With restricting timelines, KEMSA had to quickly give out tenders, resulting in a nationwide scandal in the middle of an international pandemic.
I mean, that was just depressing. We needed these equipments urgently, and random people in the streets were getting these tenders. And no deliveries are happening, and the ones that come are overpriced. Do you know 6 million masks from Germany went missing here? These people produced Hitler, and some people are willing to steal from them. Nothing surprises me anymore.
What are your thoughts on the KEMSA scandal?
I understand what they were doing. There was a pandemic and people were panicking. So the officials there just wanted to take advantage of an emergency. Understandable. However, picking random people from the streets, that was too messy. What you're supposed to do is pick someone from your village, preferably a family member or a close friend, and explain to them how the operation is going to happen, then give them the tender. I bet they didn't know, they didn't think there would be an inquiry. It was plain reckless.
I really wish I had taken a walk that day, you know, next to those buildings. I'd be balling right now. You have no idea.
Amidst the crisis, another young Kenyan resorted to entertaining herself in a bedroom, only to become an international sensation.
Another iPhone has been released. I just think it's amazing. How you release new phones when we can't afford the ones available? Are you mocking us?
She is one of the good examples that I use. You know, people are always talking to me about how hard it is out here. This lady just came from out of nowhere, you know, recording herself just talking and eating crisps, and made it. I mean, to be honest, her video quality wasn't even as good as my iPhone. at first, and now she's on Netflix. So when people come and talk to me about how hard it is out here, I just point to her and tell them to think. You see, outside of the box is where everyone's mind should be right now.
After years of carrying the Nairobi County on his back, with no deputy to assist him, mistakes were bound to be made, leading to His Excellency, Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko, to be arraigned in court, only for months later to be disposed as the Nairobi governor.
What do you think led to Sonko's downfall?
He chose the wrong side. It's as simple as that. We saw how the tides were changing and aligned our businesses accordingly.
So, okay, what does one of the 10 commandments say? Do not steal, right? Also, the Bible says that the wages of sin is death. So, in my opinion, if you asked me, he's getting far much better than what he deserves.
It was a first. He was the third most powerful person in Kenya, you know.
Third?
Yeah, he said that once.
Deputy President William Ruto of France. I am number 3 in command, politically, influence-wise, and socially.
You see, what happened was the top 3 seats were taken. And instead of pushing him down to 4th, they decided, you know what, let's just kick you out.
So who were the top 3?
Now you see, it's not that simple. Because the question is Baba 3rd with Ruto 2nd and Uhuru 1st? Or is Baba 2nd with Uhuru 1st and Ruto 3rd? Or is Uhuru 2nd and Ruto 3rd with Baba 1st? Answer me that question.
Who do you think will be the next governor?
Definitely someone easy to control. Probably a woman.
That's it. We're done, eh?
That's it for today. We're done here. We had some predictions on 2021. Would you mind reading them?
Okay.
Flaco's new sitcom was definitely the best show of the year. If this boy produces a show in which he acts all the characters, I'll definitely watch it.
He should cast me in it. I mean, I think I can be a good actor.
Looks like the new governor was just a puppet for others. Of course.
I youth should take it. We are struggling out here.
Listen, other than writing this, you should be praying for our nation.
Looks like we belong to China now. That's why I have dual citizenship and foreign investment. You remaining people will suffer when this happens.
I can say this in Chinese. Woman, Shanzai, Shuyu, Zongguo.
Here, you can read this.